What's up, volunteers? I'm showing you the ducks that are out back right now. It's really exciting. I'm out here with Kathy, and we're going to learn how to use a trap. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Volunteer Appreciation Week.
Whoop,
We can't do
whoop.
it without you guys. And I have a great trapping team that goes out with me. So today we're going to show you how to use the basic box trap when we're out there, and then I'm going to show you the drop traps. So this is a Tomahawk. This is the brand Tomahawk. True Catch is also another model. This is a 36-inch length, and it's nice. It's made through Neighborhood Cats model for feral cats. And it has the nice slide door. This makes it easy to clean and feed when you have cats that are gonna be hanging in here for a little while. So basics. This is our trap side door. This is where we're gonna load our trap. So all I've done is I've already put some newspaper right here because I use newspaper. And we'll line the other end. That way, a lot of cats don't like to walk on the grate, so when you're loading your trap, it's nice to line it with newspaper. Sardines and oil, you can use tuna, anything fishy and oily and smelly, mackerel. I've heard Publix fried chicken works. So
Really?
whatever works for that
Fried
cat.
chicken?
Yes.
That's wild.
Yes. Well, you got to pull out all the stops. You pull out the big guns. So we want to load all our food down on this end. So you want to put a good tablespoon. And then what I usually do, then we're going to close our door. So we put our biggest amount of food back here. Then we're going to make sure our trap is clipped. Then when we go down to our trap door side, basically you just push this in. You've got your hook on this side. You got to make sure it hooks at the little bar. Now your trap is set. So the idea is you want to drip a little bit of food. I usually drip some juice this way, put some tiny bits, because you need your cat to go all the way into the trap and step on the trap plate. So that's why you put your payoff way down here. Once Kitty steps on the trap door, trap goes off. Most cats are gonna freak out because the sound scares them and they don't like the fact that now they're trapped. So we grab our sheets. You always want to make sure you have sheets ready to go, or a towel or something that completely covers them. I've cut these out so I can pick up with my handles. Once the trap is covered, the cat will calm down. It's kind of an amazing thing. It's magical. But that's your basic drop trap. You want to make sure that you put your big amount of food at the end. Again, I use newspaper. If you want to use bologna or tortillas, that's something easy that you can use as a plate. It's biodegradable, it's environmentally friendly, so that's an idea from Best Friends. Another idea, you can use this trap to, instead of setting the trap with the hook, you can do the bottle and the string trick. So now you can hang out and wait for that one tricky cat. Maybe you have a bunch of cats that are already ear tipped and you're waiting for that one. So this is a good way to get the last one of the group, or just a tricky one that won't regularly go in. So you can trap train them, open your trap from both sides, start feeding them in the trap. You want to put extra food in there because you're going to have cats go in that you don't want to trap. You're waiting for that one. So when that one shows up, you can pull the trap yourself.
Oh, man.
And again, you've got Kitty. So that's another way you can use the box trap. And then again, you want to make sure you cover your trap as soon as Kitty goes in.
That's a box trap?
Yes, so this is your box trap. And they come in different sizes on this livetrap.com. That's the website. The other website for traps is True Catch. You can order them. When you order 6 or more, you get a discount. So now we're going to head over and I'll show you how we use our drop trap.
Can you borrow traps from anywhere?
You can get traps through Orange County Animal Services. They do charge a fee. You can also get traps from CARE. Go to carefelinetnr.org and you can get traps. You give them a deposit. As long as you bring the trap back, you get your deposit back.
Oh, Jessica would like to know, and I'll let you explain, though I know the answer. What's the purpose of trapping cats?
The purpose of trapping cats, so we call it trap, neuter, return, or trap, neuter, vaccinate, return, because these cats are what we call community cats. So they can't live indoors. They like to live outside. Either they've been abandoned or they're truly feral cats that have never been socialized with people. They don't want to be around us. So this is how we control the population. That's why we started the program for community cats. We have over 87,000 community cats in Orange County alone, and we've got to stop these kittens from flooding our shelters. They take away homes from those older cats that need homes, and we're euthanizing too many cats as it is, so we have to stop that. So this is a safe and effective way and the most humane way to control our outdoor cat population. So if you're feeding cats, we want to help you. We do our trap, neuter, return program every week. We normally trap on Thursdays. We do all our surgeries at our Alafaya clinic on Fridays, and then cats are vaccinated, sterilized, ear-tipped, and returned to their original location the next day on Saturday. So it's an easy process, it's free, and we come out and my volunteers help me. So it's a great program, and it's a great way to keep these cats happy and healthy and just let them live the way they want to live.
Jessica says she has a lot of cats in her neighborhood. Sam, that used to work here at Pet Alliance, I say hi to Sam. I'm here. Hey. She says hello.
Hey, Sam. Okay, so drop traps. These are great for bigger colonies. Again, maybe a tricky cat that just won't go in a box trap because it's too confining. They're never going to go in it. They're too smart for that. Or you're down to that one cat again, and the box trap's not working.
Oh, wait. Betsy wants to know, how do you care for the cats overnight? Do they need a litter box?
No. So they're going to live in this trap. So once we've trapped these cats, this becomes home. So they're fed and cleaned inside the trap. So you do have to keep changing the newspaper, replenishing the food and water. You're doing all of that in the trap because you never want to let a trap cat out in your house or the bathroom. It's dangerous, and then there's a chance you never get them back in that trap. So for your safety, you're leaving them in. We also use puppy pads. Those are helpful because they're more absorbent, but you're cleaning and feeding them in here. That's why the 36-inch are nice, because it gives them a little more space. And your truly feral cats like to be in an enclosed space anyway. When they're covered with the sheet, they're gonna be quiet. So they're actually better off that way. I'll show you our trap forks that we use. That makes it easy for us to clean and feed while they're in the trap.
I was just going to ask, how the heck do you do that?
Yep, I'll show you that trick too.
Kathy, have you gotten scratched a lot?
No, I've done pretty well. The only time that happens is when residents think that they can just pick up the cat and put it in the trap.
Oh,
and
geez.
the cat freaks out. So we always try to tell them, don't try to pick up the cat, because once a cat sees this, it doesn't matter if they're friendly at one point, they're going to freak out. So we don't ever want to try to touch them or pet them or think, oh, but they're trying to be nice. They're never going to be nice once they see one of these. And once they're trapped, they're not happy. So we never, ever take that chance.
How long do they need to stay in the trap?
Well, normally, the sooner we can get them out, the better. So if we're trapping on Thursday, they're in that trap Thursday. They do surgery Friday. They're going to spend one more night because we do a one-night hold. There are many programs that might do a same-day release. So once they're clear and ready to go from surgery, they might be released same day. Some like to hang on to females 1 to 2 days longer since their surgery is more invasive. But the key factor to know is when cats are stressed, they get sick. We know that from the shelter. We know that because they get upper respiratory. So the sooner we get them out, the sooner they can start that healing process. So the max, 2 days, some maybe 3 if they're holding them longer, but I don't recommend holding them any longer than that because they can't get back to their regular normal life. Their stress level is going to be too high. So it's safer for them to get out and get back to their life. It's the same as if we were in the hospital.
Right.
We don't heal when we're not comfortable. It's the same with the cats. We want to get them out. We want to get them back to their normal routine. So the most they would stay is 2, maybe 3 nights, depending on when we did our trappings.
Do you need to limit their food if they're getting surgery the next day?
Yes. So just like you would for your owned pet, you're going to pull that food the night before so they're clear for surgery.
These are all good questions, guys. Thanks for
Yeah.
for asking.
Okay, so ready for drop trap.
Whoop whoop.
So as you can see, we have 2 different sizes. So this is our smaller size, and you could do 3 to 4 if they're bigger cats, maybe a few more if the cats are smaller. And then we got our big Mac Daddy down there, which you could probably do 5 to 10 cats in there.
You could fit 2 people in here.
Yeah. So the drop traps are great. They're great for a colony that comes right to the feeder, and if they're all just standing there, it's perfect to set up a drop and have the feeder just get them all underneath. Sometimes that's the easiest and fastest way. But there's a couple of tricks to this. You want to make sure once it's set up, I like to put something heavy on the back portion of this, because when you get cats in here and they start freaking out, they're going to try to bounce this trap up. You also want to make sure it's on a level surface because it's uneven. We know cats, they can squeeze under anything. So put something heavy on the back end on this grate right here. Or a flower pot. I'll use stuff from people's houses that's sitting there, something heavy. That way when the cats start freaking out, they're not going to be able to push it up as much. So next thing is where we're setting our food. And one trick is to use a bowl or plate that the feeder uses, because then the cats are comfortable with that and it's familiar to them, instead of using something you brought because they don't know you. So use a plate or something that the owner or feeder uses. If there are no owner caretakers, then it doesn't matter. But you want your food way here at the back, because you got to make sure that all the feet, tails, everything is under the trap, because you don't want to pull it on top of paws or tails. So you want Kitty to be all the way back in the trap. You also want to make sure that they're concentrating on the food. So you want them focused, head down. A lot of rule of thumb is when they hit that sitting position and the head is down, that's a great time to pull. It's a timing game, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And this is where patience comes into play, because once we've set this, as you can see, we have our string. And I like to put, if you have a plastic lid or something, if you're not on the ground, you can put a little plastic there. That way when you pull, it gives it something easier to slide on. And then we have a nice long string. So now I can go hide. So once I've set this, because you might have real spooked cats that don't want to see you at all. So this is going to make it easier because you can hide out of sight. So you can go behind the trash can, behind cars. I know some of my trappers that actually sit in their vehicle and they'll pull the string from inside their cars. Whatever works, and it's a waiting game. You could wait who knows how long for whoever you're trying to get. Or if it's a big group that's going in quickly, then you can get a lot of cats at once, which saves you time. So, important thing is you want your string really tight and ready to go. So once the cats start going in, they're concentrated on that food, their head goes down and they sit. You want to get ready to pull, and you want to pull fast and hard. So as soon as that drops, again, your cats are going to freak out. So it's great to have a towel or a sheet ready to go. That way you can cover, and it helps calm them down. So then, now we're wondering, now we have all these cats under this trap. Now what are we going to do with them? Well, this model was made to fit up against the door of this trap.
Oh.
So now we're going to transfer our kitties. So it's nice to kind of leave the dark. Another rule is we can, because a lot of the cats will go towards the dark, so we can change and put our cover over our trap. That way Kitty wants to go to the dark place. Or another idea is you can leave the back side up, because they might think that's an escape route because they see light and they're going to go towards your trap. So these are made to line up with these traps. So as you can see, I have a door here and I have a door here. So we coax the cat that we want. They're going to go into the one trap. We're going to close that door. As soon as they go in, we close that, and we've got our kitty transferred. And then we're going to do that with every cat that we need to transfer into a trap.
So how often do you guys use the big traps?
Pretty much regularly.
Oh.
Because sometimes it's just easier to put this up and get 3 or 4 at once. than setting box traps. It kind of depends. Every situation is different. If I'm going to leave some traps and come back, then I'm going to leave box traps set and then have myself or volunteers check on them. If I'm there and I'm specifically just working on this one colony, then I might just set up a drop trap and see how many I can get off the bat.
Betsy wants you to post a video of an actual trapping.
Okay, we have some.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Like of you trapping?
We have one, actually Karen, when Karen and Lauren came out with me.
What?
Karen got a video one going in.
That's so awesome.
And a lot of my trappers video their releases and traps all the time, so they've got some video too.
Meow.
These are our trap forks or dividers. These are what help us stay safe, and this is how our clinics are able to anesthetize the cats to get them ready for surgery. So the way the forks work, and again, you asked about cleaning and feeding, this is how we do it. Because we can put the fork in and keep Kitty on one side while we're able to pull paper or food. And what's great, it's nice, I have 4 of these, so if you have more than one, that's even better. Because if you get a big boy in here, Big Tom, they'll push right through. So it's nice to be able to put one way, and then you can put one the other direction to make it harder for them to get out.
Yeah.
Plus, if you have kittens squeeze under everything. So you have to be extra careful when you're doing this and extra vigilant, because cats are smart, and if they want out, they're going to do everything they can to get out. So using these is great. I've also seen people put drumsticks through there.
What?
Or
That's so smart.
A small enough, maybe broomstick or something, just something to stick through that's going to keep them from getting to the other side. So that's how we clean and feed in the trap. This is also a great tool to move our cats into the trap from the drop trap. So we can stick these through and corner Kitty off, so Kitty will move towards the box trap. And that's another way we use them to get cats into the trap.
So where did you order that from?
These you can also order on thelivetrap.com. So Tomahawk they sell these, they sell the drops, they sell the box traps, and they sell the box in different sizes. They also sell covers for the traps, because again, it depends on the cat. Sometimes you can set a trap wide open and the cat will go in it. Sometimes it's better to cover the trap so the cat will go into the dark because they're looking that way. So again, it depends on the cat you're trying to trap and the situation. You can try different things. When it's raining, I've even put them inside plastic trash bags to keep them dry, and that can work if it's not raining super hard. Another thing is you could stick it inside a cardboard box. I've even stuck it inside part of a cat carrier. Just
wow.
So the cat thinks they're walking into the carrier. So whatever you have to do to trick the cat into going in. But the key is, if the cat's hungry enough, they're going in.
Yeah.
So we have to tell our caretakers and our feeders to stop feeding the cats 24 hours before we trap. Because if they're not hungry, they're not going to fall for it.
Right.
So that's a big part of trapping, is making sure the cats are hungry. And sometimes you might have to not feed 2 or 3 days just to make sure you can get them trapped.
Betsy wants to know, because she likes to ask questions and is very inquisitive, and I dig it. When are you able to determine if they're stray as opposed to feral? Only after surgery? ?
The term feral refers to socialization. So when we talk about a truly feral cat, that is a cat that if they see a human, they are running the other way. Those are cats that we don't see because they're only coming out at dawn and dusk when they feel it's safest and humans aren't around. The reason we use the term community cat is because it encompasses the truly ferals that don't want to have anything to do with you, and when they're in here, they're hissing and spitting, and you don't want to get close to them at all. You will know the difference when they're trapped. Then we also have our friendly strays, and then we have our abandoned cats. So we have cats that people moved and they left behind, and now the cat has had to live outside, but they're used to being around humans. So those are cats that are going to come towards you. They might be vocal. they might try to rub up against you, but that doesn't mean that once they get into this, they're not going to freak out. So it all depends on socialization and how much contact they've actually had with humans. But if it's a truly feral, they're the ones you're going to get at nighttime when nobody else is around, because they're not coming out during the day. Your friendlies and your abandons, you're going to see more because they've been used to living around people at some point. So that's kind of how we tell. But even a friendly cat, when they go in that trap, they're still going to freak out unless they're just really hungry and they don't care. Some cats walk in and they're like, oh, a free meal, and they're just chilling. Others go in, your big toms, they're not going to be happy. So we have to be careful. We never think they're friendly when they're in here.
This is good stuff. Can we see the shed?
Yes.
Let's go check out the shed. If anybody has questions, feel free to keep asking them.
Yeah,
Kathy
and
is
if
our
you
little...
want to get involved in the program, you have to come to a boot camp. I do the boot camps at the Alafaya Clinic. I also do them out in the library branches. So when the libraries get back up and running, you can look for those, but I always post them on our Facebook pages, or you can always just email me and I'll send out when all of that is taking place.
Whoop, whoop. Stephanie gave you a thumbs up. Woo! Isn't it pretty out here? It's really nice outside. If you've been holed up in your house, you should definitely go outside right now.
I've caught cats next to the cat box because they're like the catnip. So I've set a trap right there. So I'm trapping cats in our own garden.
Okay. Betsy has another question. Keep them coming, man. I'm learning stuff too.
Here's our van.
Oh yeah, this is the van that Kathy drives around. I got to drive this thing to my house last week, and people looked at me like I was a creep. But I had to go do a pickup for donations. Betsy says, do you automatically try to adopt out the friendlies as opposed to returning them?
No, the most important thing about this program is we are not looking to intake cats. Now, if we grab kittens, and I won't say it's not done, sometimes we do get kittens into foster if Susan allows it, but that's not what we're looking to do. This is not an intake program. We know these cats are friendly, but the problem is they're friendly to the caretaker or the feeder. They're friendly because they like the situation they're in. So it's too dangerous for us to think, oh, we're going to bring this cat into the shelter and try to adopt it out, and then the cat totally freaks out and their behavior changes. It's not worth the risk, and we don't need the intake because we need to get the cats out into homes that we already have here. So we're not looking to intake.
Good question.
And that's important because we know we're in kitten season and we know people just want to bring them here and try to get them a home, but a lot of people, a lot of groups, Best Friends, Austin Pets Alive, they believe we need to stop stealing cats. The cats are happy where they are. They have a home. It just happens to be outside. They need to stay in it. We need to stop trying to save everything out there because some of these cats don't want to be saved. And sometimes the best thing we can do for them is nothing. Is to just leave them where they are.
Sweet.
So
Betsy says makes sense.
Here's our shed.
Here it is.
We have all our traps. So after we trap for the week, we come back here. Everything gets cleaned. We use rescue. All the traps get scrubbed down. They get sprayed with the rescue. And then they're loaded in here ready for the next week. We have all our sheets. If people want to cut trap cover sheets, that's awesome. These are the smaller traps, so these are 30-inch traps because some cats do like to go in small spaces, so even the smaller traps still work, and they work the same way. They have the slide door, they have the trap door, same thing, they're just smaller. So it's nice to have a couple different sizes because I like to put the big toms in the big traps, and we know they're big toms because they have fat heads. Because they're full of testosterone. So when you see cats out there with big fat heads, they're going to be boys.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't either, and it's funny because once they're neutered, it takes about 2 weeks for the testosterone to work itself out of the body, and then their heads will actually deflate a little bit.
Wow.
Because the testosterone is pushing out.
That's insane.
But that's a big thing about nuisance why cats get called nuisance calls, because the boys go out there and spray, and it's the urine and the testosterone mixed together that stinks so bad. So once they're neutered and that testosterone releases from the body, that's going to help a lot of that problem, and they're not going to be out there fighting for mates or for territory. So that's where a lot of the nuisance calls happen, because it's all mating behavior. So when we sterilize, we're really solving a lot of those problems, and that's what we need the public to know. We're here to help. It's a free service. We spay, neuter, vaccinate, and ear tip the cats. So they're getting a rabies vaccination and they get the FVRCP. Not every program offers that. Most programs just offer the rabies, but check and see what your programs do out there. I believe county does the rabies and the FVRCP as well. So
Betsy can't believe the shrinking head thing either.
I thought that was pretty funny too. Yeah, so this is where all this happens.
Can we see the inside of the van?
Yeah.
Let's check that out.
So it's not, I haven't been able to put it back together. We have a cat tower if anybody wants it.
Does anybody need a cat tower?
I was going to take it to a location and they didn't need it. So we have a cat tower if somebody wants it.
There you go. Send us an email if you'd like a cat tower. If you or someone you know wants a cat tower.
But I can stack traps in here. I've got my bungee cords so I can make sure the traps aren't falling all over the place. It's easier when the cats are in them because they weight them down a little bit. But
it's nice and spacious.
And they do have AC back here, so they're not sweating in here.
Sweet. Does anybody have any other questions? This has been good stuff. Otherwise, we're going to let Kathy go do her thing.
Please tell people about the program. Tell people to call. They can email me. They can call the call center and they'll send it over to me. But we need to help empower the community because it's not really hard to trap a cat. We need to get people to do some of those smaller groups themselves so we can go out and do the big colonies, because we're trying to do the 30+ cat colonies. So we need to empower the community to help us.
Woo! All right, guys.
Have a good day out there.
We appreciate you. Happy volunteer appreciation. Look, this cat is free and is about to get crazy. Have a good one.